All right, welcome to the Eric J. the Great podcast show. We got a special guest on the show today, music artist Syreeta. Oh, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, just taking it day by day. So for anybody out there that never heard one of our songs, we're gonna start off by playing one of our songs, and then we'll get into our whole that.
Thank you.
Like when I hear like songs like that, like when people be talking and stuff, like I be thinking of the dude version of it. I'm
It's
trying
crazy
to
because a
know
lot of people
the
like,
lyrics.
I want to do it on a remix with you. I'm like, I wouldn't mind that at all. I just gotta find the right person.
Yeah, I be thinking I be translating the lyrics and like a dude, like in my
Hmm.
mind, I be like, yeah.
So how did you translate that one?
Well, I'll be like, you be like, hey, so you saying you that bitch? I'll be like, hey, I'm that nigga. I'm that, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's why I be saying in my head, you know what I'm saying?
Like a back and forth. That would be dope.
Yeah, because I'd be like, because it'd be kind of, I want to say it's awkward because I'm got older now, but like I don't mind listening to female music now, but it was like about 15 years
Before
ago
you used to
that
be
was a thing. 15
as a
years
sneaker,
ago,
listen to your favorite.
yeah. So I was like, now it'd be like, all right, this shit hard. Like I don't care.
Uh-huh. It's so funny because one of my friends used to be like that, and then he was walking around with it like money making bitch, money make. I was like, you he loved that, and for some reason he loved Beyonce flawless. He said, I wake up. I'm like, really? That's your shit, huh? He's like, I don't care. I'm good with my masculinity. Like, I like the song. It's catchy.
Yeah, my
So,
favorite song by is by Beyonce. I like Me, Myself, and I, and then
oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite songs.
absolutely, 1,000%.
So first off, tell the people where you from and how old are you?
So I'm from Philly. I'm 28. I just turned 28. May 15th was my birthday. Shout out to the Tauruses. It's still tourist season for me. I don't care what the calendar says. I celebrate my birthday until the end of June. But yeah, and I grew up in Philly. So yeah, West Philly. Shout out to West Philly.
That's what's up. So for anybody that ain't never been to well, hold on. What's the first thing that come to your mind when you hear your hometown?
Rappers. I'm gonna say that. Rappers. Real I'm gonna say real rappers. Is what I'm gonna say. Real rappers.
Yeah, it's a lot of lyricists come from there.
Yeah, definitely. You're not really respected in Philly unless you can like actually rap.
I can see
Yeah, we're not like a mumble town.
that.
Trying to make it, it's trying to force it, turn it into one a little bit, but it's not really a mumble town. It's not even that way for even our singers. If you think about it, like a lot of the indie soul came from Philly. Like the real singers came from Philly too. Like with the real R&B, I would say, like that era, like music and Jill Scott and like what's the other one, Bilal or something, like all those kind of people, like Philly people. We're kind of like a real city, so to speak. Like, fluffy, superficial stuff for the most part. For the most part.
Absolutely. So for anybody that ain't never been to Philly, just kind of describe, what you had to go through as a child growing up there, some of the obstacles and things you ran into, just everyday kid growing up there.
It's rough. The Even now they're trying to. It's a section of the city called Kensington, and they're trying to get like the mayor and National Guard and everybody to help with it because there's a big drug problem right there. Like I know America has a drug problem right now, period, with fentanyl and all that kind of stuff. But it seems to be like really big in one particular area. Like they're outside just laying on the ground. Like kids can't even walk to school because they're everywhere like zombies. Like it really looks like the apocalypse over there. So growing up in Philly, it's just always been drugs has been a big prevalent thing there. And with drugs comes violence, comes death, comes all of that kind of stuff. So I was kept in the house. I was not allowed anywhere without. I have five brothers without one of my brothers. So they kind of sheltered me from a lot of that, but they can't shelter too much, pretty young girl always finds a drug dealer boyfriend. She's inevitable almost in the hood always. So so yeah, but yeah, that was most of my childhood. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have two-parent household?
No. Single mother. And that's probably why I have the work ethic that I do, is because I watched her like work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of us. Like it's funny, we didn't struggle, but the only reason why we didn't struggle is because she worked so hard. So that was the part that we lacked on. When you're in a hood or in an impoverished situation, you can either lack on the money side or you can lack on the parenting side. And it was like she brought the money in, but she didn't see us as much. So my brothers kind of running the streets, raising themselves, all of that kind of stuff. And you know what comes with it, jail, all of that different kind of stuff, bad stuff. But but yeah, she did it. She did it all by herself, and that's probably why I'm such a workhorse, because I saw how determined she was, and I saw how she wanted better for us.
Okay. So what type of activities you was into as a kid? Did you play any sports or anything like that, cheerleading or?
It's funny because my entire family has a running joke. They will always say like I was always on tour in my bedroom. I've always known I wanted to be an artist, and I will always just be in my room for hours practicing. Practicing, I sing too, practicing singing, practicing rapping, practicing doing interviews. Like I always knew that this was what I wanted to do. But outside of that, in school, yeah, I did run track, I did hurdles, I did cross country. I've always done drama in any setting that I did. I act too. Yeah, that was everything I did in school as far as extracurricular. Yeah.
Okay. So did you have anyone close to you as far as friends or family that was involved in the music business when you was growing up, or you the first one to go down that route?
No, I'm the first one. I wish I had somebody so they could have told me, so they could have warned me a little bit about what to expect, and the ups and downs of it and all that kind of stuff. But no, I was the first one. And now, since then I've had some nieces and nephews and they want to get into music too. And thankfully I'm able to kind of guide them a little better than, me figuring it out on my own when I first started out. But yeah, it was just me. And actually, it started out with me acting because I didn't even know anybody that did music, because it's like music is such a male dominated industry. I didn't know any men that were just, oh, I got a studio, or, and then it came about, I was rapping for one of my friends, and that's how I actually got in the studio when I was like 20, 21. He heard me rapping. He was like, "You can rap. Like, do you want to go to the studio?" And I'm like, "Go to the studio and do what?" He's like, "Rap." Like what you're doing now, but make a song. And I had never thought about rapping before. I always made R&B songs. I was on a girl group, and we broke up. And then after that, I was just like, I didn't think about actually recording in the studio. But yeah, I was the first, and now I have about 5 rappers in my team.
Okay. So if you had to pick a moment, what would you say led you to doing music?
I started writing music when I was like 9 years old, and part of that was my coping mechanism for dealing with the trauma of where I grew up. And like I said, it was a one-parent household, but when my dad was there, he was abusive. So that was how I escaped my reality. Like I started writing music.
Okay.
So 9 years old.
Who was some of your favorite artists growing up? Who you grew up listening to?
Well, I have older brothers and they love Tupac. They don't love nobody else. So I wasn't even allowed to listen to, like, it was I wasn't allowed to listen to Jay-Z or Biggie until I was grown and out of the house with them. But Tupac, Beyonce, they're like my two favorite. They're, because to me they're the most well-rounded. Now Drake is like who I love now. But yeah,
Okay. So that's where did you get your artist name from?
that's my name.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's one thing my dad stuck around for. He named me Syreeta. He named me after it's funny, my sister's name is Sade too. Syreeta was a singer and she was also Stevie Wonder's first wife. So I don't know what he was going through at that time, but he named both of us after singers, Syreeta and Sade. So
Everything happened for a reason.
it really does. And it's crazy because my rap name used to be Sosa. And then I met who's my manager now. He's like, that's not sexy. Just use your real name. And I'm like, nobody uses their real name when they rap, but a lot of people like it. And it's so funny because kids like sing. I don't know if you heard my song, Always the Name, but it's like Syreeta. They be like singing it to me. They be like, Rita. I'm like, oh my God. It's a thing now. People call me that like they know me, but it's love.
Yeah, absolutely. So the previous situation you was describing about a guy who was saying, let's go to the studio and make a song. Was that your first time going to a studio?
Yes, that was my first time going to the studio, and I actually joined. He was in the rap group, and I actually joined that rap group. It was me and three guys.
Okay. And when you first started recording in the studio, was it kind of a rough patch at first, or was it easy for you to catch on when you started like recording yourself?
It was easy because I always rapped, I always made music, I always recorded myself. The only thing that was a learning process was learning how to stack my vocals, learning what I wanted to sound like, learning times to change my pitch, not to just be monotone. Because when you're just rapping for yourself, you're just like, oh, da 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 da. But then when you start playing for other people, they're like, okay, I'm a little bored. You need to change your voice at this point, or you need to throw some character in there at this point, and that's how you kind of learn what you want your sound to be like. But it takes you actually hearing yourself first.
Okay. So as far as your process, are you more of a writer, freestyler, or are you a mixture of both?
I'm a writer, and my brother, who's a rapper, hates it. He's like, just put on a beat and just da da. I said, but I like to think out my plot. I like to think about where I want to switch my tone. I just like to think. I'm a thinker. He's more of a feeler than me. So he's like, just go off the dome. I'm like, no, I really actually want to sit and write and think about it. And sometimes I write a song, and that's probably why I do too, because well, and a lot of rappers do it this way. They'll go in the studio. I don't like wasting studio time. They'll go in the studio, play the beat, start rapping, and then be like, oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna rap this over. I don't like this part. I'm gonna do this over. I don't like to do that. I like to have my songs perfected before I go into the studio because I don't want to waste the producer's time, the engineer's time, or my time. Studio time is expensive. So I'm not going to sit in there and practice in the studio. No, I could practice the fuck at home. Sorry, I don't know if you're allowed cursing on your show. Well, you just play fucking, so you got to. Anyway, um, so I'm gonna practice at home, and I'm gonna come in the studio when it's right, and then all we are doing in there is like tweaking things. We're not figuring it out from scratch. So yeah, I like to write, and sometimes I might even come up with two or three different concepts for the same song before I decide which lane I want to go with it.
Okay. So if you had to pick a moment, when would you say you had the confidence to know that you could take the music seriously and pursue it?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say my first performance.
When was that?
That was when I was 21. That same song that I recorded with him, we performed it maybe a couple of months later. And you popping when X is like, I was hearing about you all weekend. Everybody was talking about this show you did. I don't call my phone now, nigga. Nah, go do what you're doing. I'm good. But it was just like, okay, everybody was receptive. Everybody was like flooding me. Everybody was like, and I never knew until I did it. People like, I want a picture with you. You're like, y'all serious? Y'all liked it like that? Okay, this is lit. This is what you about to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I always say, like you can know that you're good at something, but it's different, like, when people put that confidence in you, it's almost like, when you playing sports, like you can know, like, oh, I can make this shot in my
Mhm.
sleep. But when people start telling you, you be like, oh nah, bro, like I think you can do this, or stuff like that. That's like a totally different thing.
It's way different, and it's like you can have all the confidence in the world, but we all still want that little bit of affirmation from other people. Like people try to get arrogant and say they don't. I don't care what nobody think. I make music for me. Whatever. You make music for other people to like it, and it feels good when they tell you that they like it. And when they show you that they like it. One time after a show, a little girl came up to me, was crying, wanting to hug me. It was just like, oh my God. Like, it's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. So it's a different feeling.
Yeah. So as far as your situation right now, you still independent, right?
Yes, I am.
Would you sign to a major if it made sense?
Definitely if it makes sense, because regardless of what anybody says, you need that push from that major platform. Now you can get that push and run with it and do, like, say they sign you to a 3-album deal. Do your 3-album deal, get your name all the way out there, get your money right and all that, and then go independent. But to act like you can do it all straight from the muscle by yourself and get to, it depends on what level of success you want to get to. And I tell people that all the time. There are different levels of success in this industry. There are rappers who have a core fan base and they're selling merch and they're selling music, and they make $100,000-$200,000 a year, and you and I don't know their names. Only the people in their hometown or a certain region know their names, and they're comfortable. That's $200,000 is a nice income for a lot of people, especially to live off doing what you love to do. You're not punching nobody's clock. You're not working a 9 to 5. That's a good income for a lot of people. But then if you want that major mainstream success, you want to be on everybody's TV and networks and the BTs and the Viacoms and all that other kind of stuff, it's hard to say I've seen anybody do that independently. So you need that push from a major.
Right.
You can get in and get out. You can do your deal and then get out and get your own label. And, once your name is out there, because then you already have your fan base. They're going to follow you now, But trying to do it from the beginning by yourself, unless you already have the bread, because it costs about $250,000 to break a new artist, unless you just have half a $250,000 sitting around for you to do everything you need to do yourself, then yeah, you need that push from a major.
Absolutely. Yeah, everybody be thinking they gonna get that Young Dolph success, man. I was like, that was rare.
Yeah, that little TikTok success. We all want it. Don't get me wrong, but that's a shot in the dark. I would never tell nobody they can't have it, but I would just say, to constantly work towards getting that major deal, because it's a freak accident to just get a TikTok hit and just get that overnight, or that YouTube hit overnight, where you're just like, everybody just knows who you are overnight, and you can negotiate and tell people, oh, kiss my ass, I got 300 million followers on YouTube, and you're gonna have to make me a better offer I can refuse. Like, it's hard to get there.
Right. So as far as your process now, versus when you first started, how often are you going to the studio these days?
These days I have more music than I know what to do with, because when I first started out with this team, we just recorded nonstop. We recorded for 2 years nonstop. So I have a lot of music that I still haven't put out yet. I still record because new producers approach me all the time, but I just don't record as often as I did in the beginning. In the beginning, I recorded every week. Now I probably record once a month.
Okay. So take me back to that time when you first dropped your first project in your city. Just tell me, because that's usually like the Super Bowl for some people, just because, when you have somebody that you don't know that's in your inner circle listen to your music for the first time, and you start getting the good reviews and stuff like that. Take me through that time, how that was.
Well, I haven't dropped a project yet. So far, it's been singles. But the first time that I dropped a single, it was just like everybody was treated. That's the thing. People treat you like you made it. It's like, I ain't make it yet. But it's still that amount of love and appreciation and reward. So it feels good. But it's at the same time, it's like I can't stop pushing. I can't get lax with everybody being like, oh, Syreeta, okay, that's good. We took over this market. Now we gotta go to other markets. Like, you're in Kentucky. How'd you find me?
Well, I go. I mean, I'm kind of like good at this now. So I mean, I've been doing this podcast thing for like 3 years, but I started doing the audios, but I ain't started taking it serious until like December of 2021. And then I had got my first big interview in August of last year with Derez, Shawty Low Jr.,
Oh, nice.
E Blue, Free Band Test, One Shot Deals. And then
Okay.
I just interviewed Freeway Ricky Ross like 2 months ago too.
Oh, nice.
But then it just started to take off. Then a lot of people just started reaching out to me, or I'm constantly on Instagram going through reels. So like if
Mm.
I see like an up and coming artist and I like their music, then I reach out to them. So like
That's dope.
that's the same thing with in your situation. I liked your page and stuff, so I had reached out because I was like, I treat like interviews like how record labels treat sending artists. Like I'll be like, if I interview 200 up and coming artists in a year, at least one of these dudes gonna blow,
Exact.
and they're gonna remember that hey, I gave them one of their first interviews, so that ain't gonna do nothing but help me on the back end, you know.
Exactly.
So I don't
Then
ever
you get
treat
that other
nobody.
platform and they look out. Most people.
Yeah, because I don't ever treat nobody like, I don't interview people that got 200 followers or people that got 100,000. I treat them all the same because you never know who's going to be that next star. So you don't ever want to treat nobody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. And you have to. And people don't realize that, like, no matter how big you get, you always have to be humble. You still always have to treat everybody with respect, regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
So as far as the music scene in Philly, I know when everybody think of Philly, they think of Gilly or Meek Mill or people like
Mm.
that. But just describe the music scene in Philly right now. Like, how is it? And as far as local artists, do they collab with each other, or do everybody just be doing their own thing?
Philly is not brotherly love right now. Nobody's really collabing. Everybody is like, and this might be a lot of cities. Everybody's so busy trying to be the best that they don't want to work with each other.
Mm.
Everybody's ego is so big. Like you could be the best and still work with somebody else who's the best. Like two goats can work together. That shouldn't be, an issue. But right now, the biggest thing with Philly music is starting to be that like dance sound because of Uzi, and then Beyonce did it on her tour, so it's making it even bigger. But so it's a mixture of that, and then it's still like the hardcore street rap too.
Okay. So as far as I'll start asking artists this question because I'll be thinking about this all the time. So like, do you believe rappers is targeted and or just artists in general? And if so, why?
Targeted in which way, for violence or?
Violence. It could be violence. It could be just because how big they are. If you get to a certain level, people start throwing accusations, or you know how certain things go with certain artists. So
Yeah, I feel like artists and celebrities in general, yeah, they're targeted. Some of the rappers are targeted because they say certain things in their music. You send shots at certain people or certain gangs or lifestyles, or whatever the case may be, and some of them forget that it's still real life. There are still people who are like, I'm not in the music industry, and you said what about what set about what hood, like, and you thought that was just gonna be cool, like, you thought you got a pass because it was a song. No. So some of them kind of set themselves up for some of that violence because they're rapping about it. And then some people are just targeted because the money, just like any successful person. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day because people will get mad, say you sold out if you leave and you move and everything, but it's no longer safe for you there. Once you reach a certain level of success and the money and everything, unfortunately, people don't allow it to be safe for you. Even if it's not violence, even if it's robbing you, even if it's, oh, I'm going to just accidentally bump into her at the market and say she hit me and now I got a case. Like, it's just And Jay-Z says it all the time. Like, I gotta avoid the lawsuits. I gotta stay away from y'all. Like, I can't afford it. Mentally, financially, you might be able to, but mentally, who wants to be getting sued every couple of seconds because of who you are? Because somebody is looking for a quick come up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very conscious of that now, just because I have people
You have a
talk.
platform.
Yeah, people was talking to me the other day, saying somebody spooked me yesterday when I went out because I had this chick and this dude was walking up to me and they was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I do this, this, and this." And it was like, "Oh, okay." Well, it was like, "You don't be scared coming out like that or then like that." And then I was like, "Well," and then they was like, "You know what? I ain't never think about it like that." When I told him this, I was like, well, first off, if you think about it, in most rough cities, the people that be getting picked off is people that throw negative energy out.
Mhm.
People that be out here messing people over, whether they be robbing people, killing people, family members, or just got strong street beefs. Now, I'm
Mhm.
not saying that you're not supposed to be cautious or be aware of your surroundings, but at the same time, like I don't got that negative energy around me. Like, ain't nobody say I did nothing wrong to him.
Exactly.
Nothing, you know what I'm saying? I stay in my own lane, so can't nobody really be mad at me. If somebody mad at me, it's most likely because it's on some hating stuff. Like it ain't just because I did something to them.
Exactly. But you have to stay away from them too. Jealous people, they'll kill you faster than anybody else. That's why I just like I don't. And a part of it too is like what kind of crowds you decide to surround yourself with, what kind of places you decide to go. And that's the bad thing about being a rapper. Sometimes we got to go to those little hood places, ratchet places. But when I go to those places, I make sure I have security. I'm not going to those places without security. But for the most part, I don't go to places where I have to. I go places where there are other people who have stuff to lose to. They're either already successful in their own right or they're building a brand or so they don't want guns in the club either. They don't want weed smoke in the club either because they're trying to do something better on the next platform, on the next level for their platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as music artists, who are some artists that you work with so far that people might know, or and who you got on your hit list you want to work in the future?
So far, I haven't collaborated with too many artists. I've worked with more producers, so much, so to speak. One collaboration I do have coming is with Jeremiah. But that's like the biggest artist that I've worked with so far. Outside of that, I have a song by Black Mile. He's one of Drake's producers. So I've been more so working with producers more so than artists. There aren't really many Philly artists. I only got Jeremiah because one of my producers, her name is Star Baby. She's in Atlanta and she works with him. So she, put that whole thing together. But nobody wants to come to
You
Philly.
gotta come like the president. You go to Philly, you gotta have 8 Tahoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody gotta have an AR getting out the truck.
Uh-huh. You too. I say the war zone. Good grief.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, shoot, my hometown just like that. Birmingham, Alabama. They just
Oh
did
yeah.
they just did the cities Birmingham more dangerous than Philly. They said Birmingham the third most dangerous city in the US. They said the
Wow.
only cities that's more dangerous than where I'm from was St. Louis, and I forgot the other city that was number two, but I was
What
like,
state? You remember what state it was in? The other city?
I can't remember. I
Oh,
saw
okay.
I saw it on the news. I was like, dang, I
Isn't
was like,
that
this is crazy.
crazy?
I know Philly was in they did like a top 15. I can't remember if Philly was up there. No, I think Philly was.
And people praise it. They be like Philadelphia. That's not fun. I want to be outside and happy without worrying about bullets and cops and all that. I'm good. It's not.
Yeah. Well, like I tell people, like when I was in Birmingham, I'm like, I never seen nobody get shot. It'll be like a situation where I'd be at a store or something and I leave, and then somebody that called me and be
Feel
like,
about
"Hey,
it.
yeah, somebody just got shot right there or whatever. I'm like, dang, I was just there an hour ago, or you know,
Hmm.
it'd be stuff like that.
Okay.
But what's some other things you involved into, like besides music, or that's just your main focus?
I'm acting as well. I'm actually shooting a movie right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going back and forth. I'm in a studio and then I'm shooting. So that's that's interesting because this is what I wanted. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I acted in my first movie last year. It came out in March, this past
Oh,
March.
how did you like it? The
Yeah,
outcome.
yeah, it was. I was in like three scenes. I was a
Okay.
security guard. I had to break up a couple fights. It was movie called Dance for Me. It's on BET
Okay.
Plus.
Okay.
I got Jeremy Meeks and Gavin Houston in it. And Gavin
Oh,
Houston
nice.
played with Tyler Perry, and then Jeremy Meeks, he was on that Prison Break uh
Okay.
show. But yeah, that was fun. I was like, I know a lot of movie directors here, so every time a movie come up, they hit me
Oh,
up
you
be
like,
like, "Hey, you want to be an extra, or whatever." So
mhm.
I met a lot of people that way.
Well, this movie, I'm the lead, and I'm starring alongside Jamal Woodard. He's the guy who played Biggie in The
Oh,
Notorious.
oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so it's fun. How did you like the actual process of filming? It's
I like,
strenuous.
I like, I like it because like it's funny because you would be like, I mean, like people got scripts and stuff, but like it almost seemed easy. Like I was doing it, I was like, damn,
Well,
why
you're
is it
playing
so
something. You're
easy?
kind of playing yourself, not yourself, but you're playing like security, breaking people up. Now, if you had to play like I don't know a lawyer, you think it would still be you think you would still find it easy?
Yeah, because I remember as a kid, like I used to always like mimic, like just be going around acting, just doing dumb stuff, like be like, oh, I'm gonna be this person, and I like get it down to the T and just
Oh,
be.
you were the child that did British accents and stuff. That was you walk around to my hello, mate. And no, that was you as a child. Uh-huh. That was you.
But I was like, I mean, I definitely get in some more movie. I mean, it was crazy because they had me as a party goer, and then they switched me to security guard, and then like somebody on the set, I ain't know it was somebody on the set that I knew personally. So when I
Oh,
got there, he was like, "Yo, bro, I told him to make you security guard because I used to do security for a lot of rappers. So like I
okay.
did security for Boosie, Vori, like a couple other big artists." And he told him, he was like, "Oh man, my homeboy, he used to do this in real life. I was like, you need to do him." I get in there and they looked at me and they said, "All right, get him a security t-shirt. You ain't a party boy no more." I'm like, "Oh man." Or
Did
Tim
you have any artists that made it hard for you to do security for them?
uh
Like always running off, always like
or the hardest thing is like, trying to get them to think like you.
okay.
Because I was in the military for 8 years. I got met
Uh,
I got medically
so
retired
think
3
you
years
and
ago.
you kind of assess people that have been in the military, they're always looking for a threat. They're always like looking around their surroundings, peeking stuff, like so they probably in your situation, the artist probably didn't think things were like that deep or dangerous, and you're like on them like this is not, you know what I mean, something that's for play, that kind of situation.
Yeah, because I'm like, I wasn't just a regular soldier in the military. I was special operations, so I was the one that really got sent out to like big time people. Like, only got sent out on the special missions because you have to try out to be on a team like that. So I know all these different uh skills as far as like fighting styles on jumped out of planes, all type of stuff. So it's like I be telling people like, bro, like you need to just like come to grips with like who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
you was a millionaire, bro. Like you can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna walk in this store with 300 and some people. And
exactly.
then I'm like, bro, like you only know it's like because I hire some people sometime to come with me, and then I'll be like, well, there's only like 3 or 4 of us, so it's only so much that we're gonna be able to do with all these people around, and you know what I'm saying. So it just be like the people that get on thinking like that, but that's a lot of things. I'll be trying to get artists because I don't do security as much now. It just really be like on a favor type of thing if somebody really need me, because I'm into this podcast thing now. But like I tell people, I be like, bro, like you have to, you can't take your life for granted, bro. Ain't no reset button. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really put stuff in.
So seriously, no.
But yeah, I just try to stress the artist because I've been to I don't did it all in the military. I was one of them guys that got sent after the high value guys. I went on a regular mission. So I've been to Afghanistan twice and I don't seen a lot of stuff. So I just be trying to stress to them like, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. A lot of these dudes become millionaires between 21, 25 and get tired of just seeing situations where, a lot of them end up getting killed and they don't realize how big important they are to their family. Like first,
Exactly.
I feel like the first time somebody become a millionaire, the first thing they should go do is go set up a will.
That's
Because,
a scary conversation to have, though.
but the thing
But
is,
it is though.
but look what happened to Takeoff. So this dude net worth was $26 million, and his parents fighting over his money right now.
That's crazy.
I'm like, he's been popping for about 10 years now, so you would think he would have had something in
Yeah,
place.
by now he really should have had that in place.
But people just don't be thinking about that, be living that fast life, and it's kind of, especially if you got kids, you really screwing them over if you ain't got no trust fund or something, in place, for when you pass away. So not saying you want to pass away early, but once you get notable and get that type of money, you just got to have certain stuff in place because you never know what people thinking, who coming at you or, what I'm saying. So that's how I be thinking.
No, you're right about that.
But for all your fans out there, what do you like doing in your spare time when you're not doing music?
When I'm not doing music, I'm mostly with my family. I'm a homebody. I'm a bit of a nerd, so I don't. And then, like we were already talking about the safety issue anyway, so I don't tend to go out much unless it's like an actual situation. I'm performing or something like that. Other than that, I don't go out because I try to avoid all of that.
Okay. So what are your short and long term goals? What do you want to accomplish?
Sheesh, everything. Short term, I'm working on my project so that can come out this summer. I'm gonna actually release a movie with my project, so I'm working on shooting that as well. Um, sorry,
Is it gonna be like a
I'm
little
saying that.
mini? Is it gonna be like
Yeah,
a
it's gonna be like a mini like streets is watching type ordeal to go with my project, and the songs will be on there, of course. And I will actually be looking for other artists to put their songs on there as well, so I could like introduce them to my audience as well too. Long term goals: take over the music industry, be on every single thing you see. You get tired of me, Syreeta O everywhere.
Oh yeah. So as far as the project, how many songs you thinking and how many features that you think will be on there?
It's so crazy because you always argue with people about this, like whether or not people's attention span is long enough for a lot of songs, or should you only have like 8 songs or just do an EP and all of that. So I'm tussling with that right now. I'm looking at 12 songs. I do have an artist from Philly that's going to be on one of the songs for sure. His name is Jay Huff. The song with Jeremiah is going to be on there for sure. And I welcome any features in between there. And, you know, If there's anybody in your area you think I should have on there, send them my way. I love collaborating with artists from other areas, more so than Philly. I love collaborating with artists from Philly, but more so other areas because I love how sometimes somebody in your demographic may not know anything about them. And I just love introducing people to new stuff and like, oh my God, I love this artist from Texas. I love this artist from, Alabama or whatever the case may be. And they can get a little bit of that shine in another part of the country where they may not be as known.
Right. Yeah, I always yeah, it's a lot of dope talent here in Louisville. Louisville's kind of on the brink now of being like a real music scene since Bryson, Jack, and ESTG don't blew up from here. So
Okay.
so it's a lot of local artists here that got talent that's trying to come behind them. So I don't interview most of them from here, but yeah, there's a lot of talent here.
Okay. You guys have any big music festivals out there?
Uh,
Not that face though. You're
they
like,
they do like stuff on this thing called the Waterfront where they might have up and coming artists, or they have these couple of venues that do something for up and coming artists every week, and they just go there and perform their music, and everybody, all their friends and stuff, go there and support them. I be seeing them there every week. I forgot the name
okay.
of the spot, but one of these people I interviewed, like they re-recording there every week, and they
Mm.
come there and perform every week. All the local up and coming artists in the city, it'd be dope.
Okay, that's nice.
But besides that, that's the only thing that I know. If anything, Louisville, you bound to see, drive by some apartment complexes and see somebody shooting a music video. That's how stuff be going.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
but so as far as 2023, the rest of 2023 and beginning of 2024, if you thought that far, like what else do you have coming besides the project?
Besides the project, I have this movie that I'm shooting, and I have two more movies lined up after that. So getting in my acting bag for a little minute. But those, and I did Houston Summer Jam. They invited me back again. That's going to be for sure in 2024. They already released the dates for that. So that's a good experience whenever I go to Houston and do that. I love Houston. And just looking to tour. I'm trying to set up a tour right now with different cities so I can get my name out there even more. More hard work that independent artists have to do because we don't have a platform.
Right.
So we got to get it from the muscle. You got to get out there. It's kind of like a politician. You got to be in everybody's faces. You got to campaign for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, you
Mm.
definitely gonna have to I be telling everybody, like, no matter where you from, everybody gotta make a rotation through the A at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Like I said, one of my producers is she's there. So we're trying to set up some stuff out there too. Her name is Star Baby. She's there. So it's just that Atlanta's scaring me right now with all the stuff they got going on too. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So how do you want people to perceive you?
As in all I'm sorry. Um as a triple threat. Yeah. As an all around artist, as a versatile artist. I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to just do one genre.
Okay. So give me your Mount Rushmore. Give me your top five most influential people to you. They could be family, they could be famous artists you look up to, whoever you choose.
Uh, my mom, my cousin who actually passed away from cancer a couple of years ago. She was like my biggest fan. She was that person that's like, I don't care if it's two people in the audience, I'm gonna be one of them. I don't care if you have a 30-second set or a 20-minute set. I'm gonna be there. So she was like my biggest supporter. So it would be them two, my twin brother, Jay-Z, and Tupac. That's my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that's a good five right there. So as far as closing remarks, anything else you want to let the people know that you got going on and let people know how to keep up with you on social media and things like that?
So you can follow me on all platforms at Love Syreeta O. My name is Syreeta. And then I also have my website, oisthename.com. You can sign up for email alerts, YouTube alerts. It'll tell you when I'm releasing videos, when I'm releasing content, when I'm releasing music. And yeah, it'll keep you updated on when I'm releasing my project, when I'm releasing my movies.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I like
Thank you.
yeah, I like I ain't did too many female interviews, and that's not because
Why not?
I don't want to. It's just that I run into more men than I do females. Like I only like if I had to put a number on it, I think I only interviewed probably like 5 female artists.
Oh wow.
Because Louisville don't got that many. I think I did 2 from Louisville, and the rest of them was from out of state. But
Mm.
yeah, you're the 5th one. Like
Lucky
everybody,
number 5.
yeah, everybody else be like just dudes. Like I'll run across dudes more than women. You know,
So out there, is the music all kind of sounding the same, or is everybody like finding their own niche?
you got some dudes. You know, they make the typical street stuff, but it's some people that got their own style here. Like I know my guy Black Steve.
Mm.
I got my homeboy Black Steve. He got his own style. 86 Knot. He's a good artist from here. He got his own style. Uh, it's this girl named the Real Honorby. She's hard. She's making a lot of noise right now.
Mm.
I interviewed her like 6 months ago. She's hard. They was about to put one of her
Mm.
songs on a movie that I was in, but
Oh, dope.
they she came too late, so they already had something in place. But that's how hard the song was. They was debating they think about taking the other song out, but they ended up.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I like Louisville. You know, Louisville got its own. It kind of remind me of home. Like it got a city part, you got a slow part, and then you got country part. But like a little bit of
Like
everything.
a little backwoods type area.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it really pops here around the Derby in the summertime.
Mhm.
The Derby just happened a couple of weeks ago. That's
Mhm.
the most lit time in Kentucky, or around homecomings for the colleges. Like Kentucky State and Louisville homecoming, a lot of people be coming up here.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, don't forget, send me a couple artists so I
oh,
can hit them so we can work together because I want to collab with some artists from out there.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a couple because I know Black Steve. He one of my favorite ones. He hard.
Okay.
I ain't never heard him on a song with a female before, so that'd be
Oh
different.
yeah, then definitely. Then yeah, he definitely has to do it then.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You know, I shoot randomly, it just depends. You know, people reach out to me whenever, but you know,
I'm not.
feel like this on the brink of being real
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
Spotify told me I'm in the top 30% most followed podcasts,
Oh, congratulations. That's nice.
and I'm in the top 5% most shared because I'm hitting 6 different countries. And I think mainly
Okay.
that's because I was in the military and I met so many people from different countries and
That's the advantage about being a yeah. You go to Germany and Korea and all. So what are the 6 countries that you're in?
US, Korea, Germany, United Kingdom, Philippines, and Thailand.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And a lot of those countries I lived in Korea for a year.
How did you like it? My sister said she hated the food, but she also doesn't eat meat.
Korean
So
food.
she said, no, she said out. She was in North Korea. I think she said the food was like nasty.
Well, no, she you just got to know what to eat. Like like
Yeah.
everything there is down south. Like if you go to
Okay.
Seoul is the biggest city in the world. So like
Mm.
go to Seoul, you bound to find whatever you want. They got the things like similar to hibachi, where
Okay.
you basically cook it yourself, and they just switch the skillet.
Oh, okay.
So it's good. Like they like a beef, chicken, or pork, and just everything served with rice, and then
Mm.
you got like salad, and they got this alcohol called soju. That should mess you up, boy. Because
I was getting ready to say I heard that strong.
but
Strong as hell.
but you don't taste it. It tastes just like juice.
Wow.
I
So you
mixed
can't, but then when it's like
it.
that, you can't even limit how tore up you get because you
Yeah,
can't taste the alcohol content.
yeah. I made the mistake. They said don't drink it sitting down. So of course I drank it sitting down, and my homeboy was like, "All right, let's go, bro. We about to go to another spot." I stood up and fell
Woo.
straight on my face.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, "Damn, bro, I only had one cup of this." I was like, "Yeah," so I knew my limit after that. Like, I mixed it with some Gatorade, and it tasted just like
uh,
Kool-Aid. Like
oh
it was
my
good.
goodness.
I was just chugging it. I'm like, "This junk good." But, yeah, it humbled me real fast. You know. Well, yeah, Korea was probably the funnest country I've been to. It had to be between there, Philippines, and Thailand. I liked it Japan too. Japan was dope.
Okay. I have to go. I'm scared, not scared, but those flights that are like, how many hours did it take you to get to them?
I think Korea was like 20 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I could be on a plane for 20 hours.
But
That's
the
so
thing,
long.
but the thing
Huh?
is, like when I do that, when I go, I just don't sleep 2 days before.
How I can't stay up for 2 days.
Not 2 days, but like a
But
day.
like even a day. I
Because
don't know. It
Because
takes
like
some
soon as I
crazy
get on
sleeping
a
pills.
plane, because usually you only can leave the country from like an international airport. So like
Yeah.
you either got to go out of Seattle, North Carolina, Atlanta, Miami, or
Hmm.
Dallas, Fort Worth. Like them, like be the main ones that go out of country. So like when I went to Korea, I went through Seattle. So like I ain't sleep that whole day. So like freaking when I got on the plane, and I know we had
My
about
God.
flights. Go, they gave us 2 meals on the plane too. So I was just like, nah. I took like 3 long naps. We still went there.
Oh my goodness. That's the thing for me. I wake up, we still ain't there. We still ain't there.
But the thing is, they put you on this big commercial flight, so it's way bigger than a bigger plane. So it was like
Yeah.
3 rows by the window, 3 rows in the middle, and 3 rows on the other side of the wing. So like
Gotcha.
you had like plenty of people to talk to the past
Okay.
time. So like I was on there with so many people. It was probably over 100 people on that plane. So like
Oh wow.
we
Y'all was on there having a little party in the air.
yeah, we got through it. We was like, they was playing all the classics. Like, we was watching Finding Nemo, then they ended up playing American Gangster, then they was playing all type of movies to get through. But yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I like
Mm.
Korea, Philippines, just because they got the lowest currency in the world, so you ain't gonna spend no money.
Okay.
I got a friend, he retired there, and he don't want to come back just because he only
Everything is affordable.
he spends fifteen
He can
hundred.
live off his pension.
He
That's it on everything for his life.
he lived like a king.
Wow.
Yeah. I was only there for 5 days. I only spent
Mm.
$40. And I'm talking
$40 in 5 days. Oh my goodness.
like
$40 ain't gonna get you through 2 hours.
like $40.
Mm-mm.
I had like food. I had one of the best hotels. I had a driver. I had VIP in the club. Like I had
What?
like they real poor over there. Like $20. When I put out $20 in a restaurant, like they was
It's
like
freaking out.
bringing all these plates and stuff. I was like, bro, like I'm not gonna eat all that. Like, but yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. I tell everybody at least to go to 1 or 2 different countries just so you'll can see how other people live, and then you'll be more thankful for when you come
Absolutely.
to us.
Hmm.
A lot of people ain't got the same rights and stuff that we do. In Korea,
Yeah.
every male in Korea got to do 2 years in the military. It's mandatory.
Wow.
As soon as they turn 18, they got to go straight to the military, or they can go to college for 2 years, get their associates, and then they got to come back, go to the military for 2 years, and then go back and finish college.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being forced to go to the military. I gotta fight for y'all. I don't even like y'all. No.
Well, it's only the males. They don't make the females
No,
go.
I'm saying, even as I'm saying for males, yeah, I can't imagine. I know, years ago, men used to be forced to enlist in America, but they stopped that so long. As a person, I can't imagine being forced to go into the army.
Yeah. But their population is not as big as ours either, even though they overpopulated. Like Korea's small, like it's only the size of Indiana,
Oh,
but
really?
they got 10 times that population. Like they got
Mm.
50 million people there. So they
In a small,
had to build up
so
because
everything is on top of everything.
yeah, but it's like a lot of alleys. So like you'll get dropped off on the street and then you'll just have to walk through the alley to get where you're going, where you
Mm.
want to go.
Mm.
That's what I liked about Korea. I ain't need no car.
You could just walk everywhere.
Train, you can go to train for $1, no,
Oh, goodness.
no matter how far it was. And it was the best McDonald's I ever had in Korea
I'm done. A lot of people say that our fast food tastes better in other countries.
because it's organic there. They use real patties. Like it ain't nothing processed. You can't get a
Mm.
large over there either. That's why you rarely see.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's why none of them are overweight because they don't have big portions of food.
Yeah, KFC was the best over there too because it was a mixtures of churches and Popeyes.
Really?
Because you had honey biscuits at KFC, you still had the wedges, you had the extra crispy chicken, but with the Popeyes spice.
Seasoning?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that was a funny story because my homeboy disappeared on me and he popped back up with a piece of chicken. I'm like, bro, where you been at? He was like, bro, you got to go get this chicken.
Popeyes.
I'm like,
KFC. He was at KFC the whole time.
I was like, bro, like we just ate an hour ago. Like I tried another day. He was like, no, bro, you don't understand. Like you got to go get you a piece of chicken. Like I went in there and bought a piece of chicken. I ate it. I ended up getting the whole combo. Like
Ah!
I was like that. I was like, yeah, this chicken fire. We used to eat there at least a month the whole time I was over there. It was like, yeah, we got to hit this weekend.
I'm done.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show. Anytime you want to come on, because I don't just do interviews. I talk about real stuff too, whether that be relationships, child support. That was some of my most popular episodes was police.
I just bet. People on there venting about they ain't shit baby daddies and ain't shit baby moms. But no, thank you for having me. I would love to come back.
Yeah, yeah, I got what you call it coming on Tuesday. Derez, he coming back
Mm.
on Tuesday. Derez Deshaun.
Okay, nice.
I was
Hmm.
thinking about getting him to do a podcast theme song for me.
Oh, that'll be dope.
And
Yeah.
now to Atlanta and shooting a music video. I want to be like Birdman in the background. I don't want
Hey.
I don't want to say nothing. Just have my
Just
stuff on.
stand there like just there like you know who I am. You know why I'm here. I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah,
Dope.
Birdman be cracking me up when you do that.
Hmm. It's the facial expression every time. Like
And he been saying $100 million for about 20 years.
I was gonna say, last couple decades. Yeah, we get it. You calling us poor? We get it.
Well, yeah, yeah, this should drop in like October unless you want to move it up. You just have to let me know because I drop every Monday at midnight.
Okay.
But yeah, I got a couple of big episodes coming up that's about to drop now. I know Trill C drops tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
He's he's one of NBA Young Boys and Quando Rondo's producer.
Hmm.
So yeah, he drops tomorrow. And then I got Young and MH. Check him out. He one of the biggest artists in New York. He's
Okay.
he's hard. Like a lot of labels trying to get him right now. He hard.
I gotta remember. I should have had a notepad so I could take down names while you was telling me.
Yeah, it's a Young and MH. You know,
Okay.
Young with the N and then MH. Yeah, he got like 20 some thousand followers, but he already verified though. He hard.
Okay.
Yeah. And, NPR Richie Rich too. He's hard too. He's
Mm.
he's in Atlanta. He got like 4 million followers. He independent though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Dope.
but yeah, I hope. I mean, you definitely got the personality on the song. Or like you sound
Oh,
like
thank you.
when I first heard it, Megan Thee Stallion, I was like, oh yeah, she's talking some stuff on here. I remember when I first heard Megan, I was like, I was in a car and
Mm.
I had to stop myself. I was like, dang, I was like, my head bopping, like, you know, like Megan was
Just go
talking.
hard.
I was like, dang, bro, I don't even beat like this to some dude song, you know.
That's what's up. That's love.
Yeah, I like when people talk stuff on songs, you know, they
Mm.
give me a little excited, give me a little goosebumps.
Yeah, get you in your zone. Like, okay.
But yeah, this concludes another episode of Eric J. the Great podcast. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the show. We have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube now. Appreciate
Nice.
everybody um, uh, supporting the show. Everybody follow me on Instagram, Eric J. the Great, Facebook, either the Eric J. the Great podcast or Eric Jones Jr. My Twitter, Eric J. the Great, Snapchat, Eric J. the Great. And anybody that wants to come on the show, you know how to get in contact with me. Better come on now.
Eric J. the Great. Better come on now before you need an assistant to get through to him, okay? Talk to him now while you can talk to him directly. Now, it's not going to be that way for long. It's going to be like, oh, you have to talk to my agent or my assistant or my booking agent or my manager or my handler. Tell him now.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get to that point because I think Freeway Ricky Ross gonna be my biggest interview because a lot of
Yeah, it's gonna take you to another platform, definitely.
because when I got that interview, I had people reaching out to me when I dropped the video
Mm-hmm.
that I ain't even think will reach out. They was like, bro, how did you get him? I've been trying to get him or whatever. I was like, shoot, I mean, I don't know, just a solid dude. I mean, really.
That's what's up, though. That's good.
I was like, that's a legendary interview because he was Big Meech before Big Meech. So
Exactly.
I'm like, he's up in age now. So I'm like, ain't no telling how long he gonna be around.
Yeah.
I'm like, that interview is gonna be more valuable even after he passed away, So a lot of people got to sit down with him before. So I was,
Yeah, that's gonna be legendary.
yeah. And he was talking about when Rick Ross stole his name. I ain't even had to ask a question. He brought it up.
He just said it.
I was,
See, giving gold, gold.
I was like,
That's gonna be forever.
I was like, dang, boy, he's still on that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But have a good rest of your day. I'm about to.
Thank you. You too.
I'm about to get into. It's about to be a long night for me. We got a day party going on today.
Oh Lord, here you go. Back at it. Round two. Round two. Somebody warn everybody. No, but thank you for